Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about what planets bring wealth in astrology. I discussed what houses bring wealth, like 2nd and 11th, but today we're going to talk about what planets in certain situations can bring wealth. Besides being away from the, besides being in the 11th house, what other place and situation can bring a planet can bring wealth? Okay, so a lot of people think in astrology. Okay, and remember, this is not your basic astrology, basic sun sign personality astrology where Virgos make more money and Scorpios make more money. No, that is completely garbage. It's useless, you know, when you know the real astrology. So in astrology, there's thing called excel points and delineated points. Okay, so a planet will be excelled in certain sign and completely weak in the other. So Sun is excelled in Aries, and it loses all its power in Libra. You know, like Saturn is excelled in Libra, but it's completely, powerless in Aries, okay? I mean, in layman's term, I'm telling you, they don't just lose their power, okay? So in astrology, people think that excelled planets that are very well placed in a horoscope and they're in an excelled position are gonna bring more money. That is actually wrong. Do you know, it's actually the opposite. When you have delineated planets in your horoscope, they tend to bring you more money, okay? More money but less honor. And this is what this era is about. This is Kali Yuga. This is ruled by Rahu. This 100,000-year-old period, okay, is being ruled by Rahu. And what it does back in the days, 4,000 years ago, 7,000, 10,000 years ago, when humans relied on astrology and they were talking about excel planets, back then being educated, having the honor of family, not caring about the material wealth was known as being wealthy, was known as being excelled in the society. Okay, now these days, you try to be, as honorable as possible, as educated as possible, yet you do not want to go for material wealth or money. Just see how long you will survive in this day and age without going into a homeless shelter. So what happens is the dynamic changed. That the excel planets who worried more about education and honor and prestige now no longer are applicable for wealth. Okay, planets that are delineated weak, okay, they tend to bring more wealth because wealth was considered evil. Wealth was considered like a malefic thing, material thing, and they didn't want to rely on those material things back 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. So when the planet is weak, when it's in a delineated position, although it ruins relationship, in your family members, and it brings stress with things related to that planet, but it brings money in return. So there are certain planets that when they're delineated, they may not bring you honor, they may not, you might just get insulted in life. However, in return, it gives you wealth, because wealth becomes that negative aspect of astrology. So when a planet is negative, it's bringing that negative aspect, which is, cold cash. So if you have Sun, Mars, and Venus, including Saturn, if these 4 planets or any one of those planets are delineated in your chart and they're in the 1st, 4th, 7th, 10th, even 11th house, okay, they will bring you wealth at certain point in your life, especially when the planetary time period of that planet comes into play, okay? When you have Mercury weak, however, Mercury and Jupiter, they tend to actually do hurt you in terms of material wealth, okay? Because Jupiter is wisdom mainly. Main job of Jupiter was to give you more wisdom, was to make you, abide by the society. And Mercury is pretty much intelligence, okay? So you do not want to have that delineated in your horoscope, because intelligent and education and wisdom is something that we need no matter what the circumstances are. But Sun, Venus, Mars, and Saturn are about status in society, are about, are related to things that will bring the cash in, okay? So whenever you have delineated planet in your horoscope, don't feel bad about it. Sure, your personal circumstances will not be as great because of those planets, but in this day and age, everybody wants money, everybody wants wealth. So this is why it's important to look at your horoscope, you know, in this detailed perspective. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, trust me, it is the easiest thing to understand. If you check out my link below on my website, I have articles, I have a book there that will tell you everything about it, and you will know thyself, you know, with this particular astrology, which is Vedic astrology. Okay, otherwise, if you are new to my channel, subscribe above, because more of this useful information coming your way. All right, thank you guys.